Hi, welcome to WCAX. This is our live desk streaming show. It kicks off every day at 9:15. Today we're checking in with our Adam Sullivan. Adam was down in Springfield, Vermont, checking in on some storm damage. Quite the hot week here already. Adam, good morning. How are you?
Hey, good to see you, John.
Good to see you. So, jumping right into it. They had a kind of a unnamable at this time weather event on Wednesday and some really bad storm damage. When you went down there, tell me kind of what you saw and what the situation was like as they started picking up the pieces yesterday. A lot of those downed trees, right?
Yeah, definitely. And that cleanup really continues. And it's not just isolated to Springfield, John. On my way into the office this morning, I saw a tree crew in White River Junction cutting up a tree that had fallen across the yard. So really this storm that rolled through the past couple of days actually really packed a punch in individual areas of the state, and Springfield was definitely one of them. One of the really takeaways that I got from visiting Springfield yesterday on Thursday was to see how quickly the storm damage occurred and how isolated it was to really this one little neighborhood. Trees came down, within a matter of minutes, and we're talking, John, we're talking big trees. These are 3-foot diameter trees that were coming across the road. I talked to one resident there, as we will hear, Kathy DeMarco. She was outside enjoying the breeze that had picked up because it was a hot summer day, or now it is summer, I guess. Hot day. She was enjoying the breeze, and then all of a sudden the rain started coming down hard. The wind picked up, and before she knew it, there were trees down all over her property, really, but one right in front of her house, as you will see.
Yeah, and I know we're a couple days removed now from Wednesday, but just how many outages or around how many outages they have Wednesday had? It was pretty, in my idea, it was pretty widespread, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just checked the map, and thankfully all of the lights pretty much across the state, because there were several outages, thousands of outages, I should say, yesterday, in different areas of the state. That also occurred likely from storm damage. But in Springfield on Wednesday, at the height of the storm, Wednesday afternoon, within a matter of minutes, about 3,000 customers were in the dark. I talked to the fire chief down there. He said they got nearly more than 24 emergency calls, within a matter of minutes. And he also thanked the Green Mountain Power crews who were really on scene, within hours, and began restoring that power. And roughly 24 hours after the storm had hit, almost all of those 3,000 customers had their electricity turned back on. And I just checked the map right before getting on air with you, John. I believe only one customer is left in Springfield, and that customer will likely be back on momentarily.
Yeah, and Adam, one of the interesting parts of this story as well, I know at the end, of your package there, that the fire department reached out to the National Weather Service, and they weren't quite sure exactly what to call this. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's pretty standard when you get such high winds like this and such noticeably strong damage. So the fire department on scene did call the National Weather Service. They were scheduled to either come in Thursday afternoon to inspect the damage. I don't know if that has been done yet. Well, we're hoping to get an update today from the fire department. But it's really just to check to see, what kind of weather event this is. Jess can probably explain better than I can on that front. But whether it's a microburst or possibly a small tornado, that's something obviously the National Weather Service will be investigating.
Absolutely. Well, I know a lot of people in and around Springfield probably very happy that kind of got an update, from you, and as far as what they were dealing with, and of course on a week like this, that's just brutally hot.
And John, if I could just add, John,
yeah.
One thing that was really actually striking as well is the way these trees fell. It was almost as if the trees knew not to hit the houses, because they were falling literally in between houses, in front of houses. As you'll see, there was some damage, minor damage, but most of the houses that I saw, only really relatively small damage, and thankfully no one was injured in the storms either, John.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's it sounds like all things considered, that's some good news on a lot of their Springfield residents' parts. So, but Adam, thanks so much for hopping on. Of course, I love having you on here as well. So, kind of with that, as I'll let you go. I know you probably have a busy day ahead of you, and we'll pull up your story for anyone who missed it. But Adam, thanks for stopping by.
All right. Good to see you, John.
Good to see you. That was our Adam Sullivan again, talking all things happening in Springfield, Vermont this week, of course, on a very sweltering, kind of few days here. And with that in mind, we will pull up his story that aired yesterday and this morning as well. For anyone who missed it, just give me 1 sec, and we will be good to go. Looks like there is an audio problem there, but with that in mind, I'll kind of move on to another kind of weather-related thing here, of course, is that heat this week that has just been pretty brutal over the last couple days. But first, we'll take a look at this shelf cloud in Heinsberg, sent in by one of our viewers, Gary Lambert. Of course, I am no meteorologist, but we have our Jess Langlois here to tell us. And Jess, what am I looking at here?
Well, yeah, this is a shelf cloud from Heinsberg yesterday afternoon. So that was, 2 days in a row of pretty intense storms impacting a lot of our area. And that, comes out ahead of, usually you see that with a storm that has some straight line winds. And we certainly had some reports of trees toppled, power line damage again yesterday. And it happens right on that leading edge of the beginning, right before it moves in is usually when you see that. So that's what that picture's of. And
I mean, we always appreciate nice viewer videos, pictures, etc. And otherwise on a kind of rainy, gloomy day, it's still pretty cool to see here. But as far as this weekend goes, Jeff, I know we are, I want to say out of the woods, but it's still the summer, so it's not going to be in the high mid 90s and all that. But what are we looking at as far as this week goes?
Well, we're kind of, we've left the intense heat behind us now, thankfully. We've left the 90s behind, but we're still tracking some wet weather for the weekend. So unfortunately, not like last weekend where we just had that comfortable, dry air, the sunshine. This weekend, it's still a bit muggy, and we're tracking some rain chances both days.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, heavy downpours being the biggest concern with either of those batches of rain.
Sunday as well?
Sunday in particular, actually.
I got a road race on Sunday. Might be canceled. I think it might be canceled. So that'll be.
We'll see. What time is it? In the morning?
Like 8 a.m.
In the morning. You might be okay. It's
Unscathed?
gonna be iffy. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's looking more like rain downpours, and then as the day goes on, better chances for some storms, a couple strong ones possible in the afternoon.
I'm not that ready for it, so might be good news.
It's not looking like a great day for it. That's for sure.
Gotcha. And, as far as, I guess, down the line, the next 7 days or so, I mean, I know we have this weekend, which is, you said, kind of rainy, gloomy, but what can we expect as far as we move on throughout the week?
Yeah, I mean, thankfully we're looking at conditions to be not as hot going forward, but still a little unsettled through the next couple of days. So I guess just looking through the forecast here, we've got... looking in the rearview mirror, we have some of the storm stuff from the past couple of days there. Let's see, we're just trying to...
Come on, cooperate, computer. Here we go.
There we go. Kind of.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Here, I'm going to take this up here.
I'm clearly not a tech wizard today. Probably nor any day, so yeah.
All right, but yeah, so we had, that shelf cloud yesterday we were talking about, and that wasn't the only issue we had either, too. A number of storm reports happening the other day there. This was yesterday in Burlington, actually, Lakeside Avenue. So those storms that came through weren't just...
That full screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Normally go up full, or maybe like this. There you go.
Here we go.
There you go.
All right. We figured it out.
So we had, they looked menacing coming in, and they did quite a bit yesterday too. So it's 2 days in a row of that, and these are all the storm reports that we had a couple days. This was yesterday, actually. Each of those little icons is some sort of either trees or power lines down,
Oh, wow.
hail, wind. I want to zoom in on Plattsburgh in particular because, like Burlington, we had some of those street flooding on Lakeside Avenue, but some reports of street flooding in Plattsburgh as well. And also, the storm happened to pass right over the airport where they clocked a 61-mile-an-hour wind gust yesterday. So not only were they were dumping a lot of rain, there was also the wind, and that damaged a small plane, overturned a plane, a small one, and also caused some minor damage to a hangar there. And that was just part of what that happened, and this kind of plays into the weekend as well because we've had a few communities that have had a lot of rain now. Plattsburgh actually set a daily rainfall record yesterday, 2.3 inches there.
Oh, wow.
And it was one of their top 20 wettest days on record, actually. And an inch for Burlington. There were a number of communities that saw quite a bit of rain. And so, yeah, we've ditched the heat, but really, unfortunately, not
Just on to the next.
not the rainfall. And so we still have this front that's kind of draped across the area. If you look right here, that's where it's the same one from yesterday, but the impacts today, at least, not going to be as intense.
Yeah.
But it's still bringing us those clouds. It's kind of gloomy out there, not a ton of sunshine. It's going to keep the moisture in the area too. So we still have a little bit of humidity. We're trending cooler but wetter for the weekend. And this is where we are right now. So still a mild start to the day. We still have some upper 60s, mid 70s out there now, but we're not heating up as fast as the past few days, which is nice. Welcome relief. And we're kind of right on the edge of that less humid air. I mean, look at Montreal has a 54-degree dew point, so that's comfortable air. But then look at Bennington, 70. That's really not any better than the past couple of days.
Yeah.
So that's because that front is kind of stalled right in the middle of our area. And it's kind of the dividing line between comfortable air up here and just really sticky, uncomfortable air down here. Especially southern Vermont, central Vermont, seeing the worst of that humidity right now. So
Head to Canada.
exactly. If you want to escape the humidity and you can head up to Montreal, it's a good day for it.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, we're still keeping that humidity around just sticky enough through the weekend, so not quite as terrible. I mean, the past couple days we were up in this range, that really terrible 70s dew points. Now we're talking more 60s for most of the forecast here. Eventually there is this big drop that comes after a cold front that moves through next week, but that's still quite a ways out. For now, we have all those clouds in place with that front nearby. A little bit of blue on the camera in Newport, but most of us, seeing those clouds out there today and going through the rest of today with that front nearby. The good news, though, is we're not looking at those strong to severe storms like we had yesterday and the widespread heavy downpours. It's more just some garden variety showers, downpours, maybe a couple thunderstorms through the afternoon. Really central and southern areas have the best chances for anything a little bit heavier, those storms. Still could be a couple showers anywhere through the day, but not a washout of a day by any means. But now we're going into the weekend here. We're looking at tomorrow morning. Starting out okay Saturday morning, still a lot of clouds around, but with that front still kind of hung up in the area, we have a lot of moisture. And that's going to bring us another round of showers, downpours, could be some storms embedded into that. And now that we're into the weekend time frame, anything here, we'll have to be watching for rainfall amounts if we have any really heavy totals over some of the same areas repeated. There could be some localized flood issues. But here's your Sunday morning. So depending on where that road race is it around here?
It's me and Alyssa are doing it. It's Lake Dunmore. Thank you. It's in Lake Dunmore, and so hopefully not too bad up there. What can you tell me though?
It's not looking great. I mean, so the issue is there's going to be this batch of really heavy rain that sets up. So within this, we could be seeing some, 2 to 3 inch rainfall rates, but it might set up just north of the area. It really is going to, there's still a little bit of fine tuning with the positioning of that band, but regardless, there's going to be a lot of moisture in the atmosphere, and anything that happens, we could get some heavy downpours in there and also some stronger storms into the afternoon as well. So that's going to be a concern sort of through the weekend, even into Sunday evening. So if we're looking at the risk for excessive rainfall right now. So tomorrow, this is Saturday. There's kind of 4 different risk categories. This is level 1 here for tomorrow. Sunday, looking a little bit higher. You can see how the northern areas are kind of highlighted due to being kind of close to where that heavier band of rain might set up there. So that's going to be the biggest thing into the weekend. But I think we're all looking forward to not having temperatures in the 90s today.
Yep.
So
Yep.
definitely much better in that department. Our normal high for today's date is 79. That's right about where we're going to be this afternoon. You know, a lot of upper 70s, a few low 80s, could be a couple of mid 80s down towards Brattleboro. But overall, mainly cloudy, chance for some scattered showers or thunderstorms. Best chance for a storm would be south. And then we stayed mild overnight, not quite as uncomfortable as the past few nights, but we're still starting out in the mid-60s tomorrow. And of course, we're mainly cloudy. Chance for a spot shower early in the day, but the best chances will be into the afternoon, where again, we're looking at highs topping out in the 70s, maybe a couple low 80s here or there. But chance for those showers and downpours, thunderstorms into the day, and then again on Sunday. So not looking like the best weekend, but at least we won't be sweltering.
Yes,
And
that's kind of a trade-off here.
Yeah, that's the best part. Still a chance for some showers into Monday, but finally by Tuesday, we should get a break in that. Another cold front comes through on Wednesday, but it's looking like more comfortable air behind that too.
Yeah, and I think it's one of those things where we're so looking forward to getting out of the heat and all that, but then we're kind of hit again with a lot of this rain and stuff like that. I know yesterday I had to drive down to New Hampshire. I had to swap cars, and coming back through Montpelier, that kind of area, this is probably 4 o'clock. Pretty not great visibility on the roadways there. There's a lot of rain coming down pretty quick too. And I think I was so heat focused all week that I didn't really keep that in mind. But yesterday afternoon here, it cooled down a decent amount too.
It did,
Yeah.
because we had that front coming down,
Yeah.
and so we're just kind of on the edge of that more comfortable air, but it
Yeah.
did really help bring the temperatures down.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where we're sitting right now. Still a bit humid, more or less so depending on where you are.
Yeah.
But at least, you know, we're done with the big heat.
Yeah,
thankfully.
it's a welcome sight. My AC needs a reprieve every couple of days. It's been working overtime. So, Jess, thanks for stopping by. And again, you can see Jess and I and WCX at noon, our evening shows as well. Of course, you want to see Adam's story. I know we had an issue with the playback of his story there. We can see it on WCX.com. And hopefully we can get an update to that soon. But without further ado, we'll let you guys go on your morning and have a good one.